Virgos, welcome to your weekly reading for May 20th to the 27th. This is Catherine from Oracle Intuitions, and we're going to be taking a look at the energies for the mind, the heart, relationships, as well as a message from Spirit. This is going to be for all Virgos and Virgo placements. Cross watchers are welcome to watch. Please remember that these are general readings, so they may not resonate with everyone. However, if they do resonate, please click subscribe, please click like, and comment below. Let me know if this reading has resonated with you. Also, if you would like a personal reading, you can contact me at oracleintuitions.com. So let's get into it and let's see what's coming through for our Virgos. First card coming in is the never-ending story, okay? So it does already feel like there might be some cycles that need to be broken here. We have go the distance. And we also have serendipity. Beautiful, beautiful energy. What I'm getting here, Virgos, is it does feel like when we have that never-ending story, this could do with any aspect within your life, currently. We're going to get some clarification, but what I keep getting is that there seems to be a repeat of cycles, okay, of some sort. It's like that never-ending story. Here we go again. Oh my God, it's that type of energy that's coming through. When we have when we are focusing in on the mind, what it is that we're focusing on things that could be within our mind or external energies that are going on around us at this moment. But what I'm getting from Spirit is by breaking these cycles in some way helps you to go the distance towards some sort of goal or some sort of path that you've been seeking or desiring, and leads you to that serendipity. It feels like, very simple energy here. But let's take a look, okay? The first card that actually wanted to come through was the Wheel. And, this was actually in backwards, and I'm going to take it because it does talk about a fresh new start or the end of delays, ending also a cycle. Okay, it's like moving forward, new positive changes coming through. So what is it that you need to release? What kind of cycles do you keep repeating? Is this a mental cycle? Is it a physical cycle? Okay, is it having something to do with how you resolve issues, or maybe perhaps, is it, for some of us, right, what it could have to do with, because, humans, we tend to go into this place of things aren't quite working out the way I want them to, so I'm just going to stop, I'm just going to end it, I'm going to be in this place of, wishing that I had gone forward, and it kind of feels like push through. This is what I'm getting. Push through the cycle, okay? End the cycle and push through it instead of getting into this place of, for some it could even be laziness. It could be, disappointment. It's like a disappointment comes up, so we kind of stop. We don't allow ourselves to go that distance. So let's see what else is coming through with that clarity. Yeah, we have the Page of Wands, or the Page of Cups coming through, and it talks about a beautiful new emotional experience, romantic relationship, deep friendship, awakening, right? Awakening of psychic abilities, awakening of our intuition. It even could really be, what I'm getting here is, and again, this is only going to resonate with for some of you, so just take it, or toss it aside if it's not resonating. But what I'm getting here is it kind of feels like if you can break whatever cycle this is, that never-ending story, all right, you're going to receive this deeper emotional connection with something or someone. Maybe perhaps this does have to do with a relationship, but it kind of feels like, for some of you, maybe there's, arguments that happen. Maybe there needs to be, a form of flexibility coming through here. Maybe instead of being disappointed and sort of stopping, because I do get this energy of stopping. It's like I'm disappointed. Things aren't working out the way that I want them to, so I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to really try, working harder towards it, or I'm going to be in this place of disappointment and, get into my head, right? Because it feels like a lot of mental energy. It feels like more mental energy than it does, or it could be emotional, but that emotional is leading to that, mental despair, or that mental confusion, or that, place of just wanting to stop rather than continuing to try and moving forward. We also have the Justice card coming through. So, it does talk about balance, but it's also talking about being impartial and objective. All right. Stand up for what you believe. So again, I'm kind of getting this energy of like, I'm really getting this energy that when there's a disappointment, or again, something's not flowing the way that you had hoped it would, it's like you just stop. Or maybe perhaps you take a step back, and I'm getting like what you need to do is go that distance, really push through, really, let's actually clarify that, go the distance, right? So we have that Knight of Cups coming through, beautiful energy. Again, it could have to do with a relationship in some way, but it also could do, with just like some sort of offer coming through to you, right? Or you even presenting an offer, or even being in this place of, going towards what it is that you love. Go that distance towards what it is that you're desiring, rather than stopping, rather than putting a halt on it. We have the Five of Swords coming through, right? And it really talks about sometimes an imbalance, okay? But it also says here, look, a better way that will make you happier. Okay, avoid people who lack integrity or have questionable motives, because that Five of Swords can really talk about like win or lose, right? It also really talks about somebody, maybe you're sort of in this place where you feel like somebody else might not be putting their effort towards something, again, whether this is a job or whether this has to do with relationship, and because of that it may stall you or halt you. Okay, because you're sort of looking at their actions or their motivations or whatever it is, and so you get into this place where mental energy starts to take over. All right, the mental stress of something starts to take over, and so you halt it rather than moving forward. This even could be a past energy, so maybe in the past you were going towards something, but again, because of delays happened, or maybe somebody's, motives that were unjust or unfair, or, just downright deceitful, that, it kind of put a stopper on things, or a damper on things, and it really prevented you from moving forward. And I feel like Spirit is saying to you, it's time to start going that distance. All right. We also have, look at the Empress. Beautiful time to take action. This is exactly give birth to your dreams, right? The Empress is all about abundance. And I feel like you have to let those past energies go, or even if it's a current energy that's, currently reappearing in your life in some form, it's time to let that go. It's time to remove it. Take a look at it and say, okay, what is preventing me from moving forward? Where is this energy coming from? Is it coming from a person? Is it coming from within myself? If it's coming from circumstances in some way? All right, well, I'm going to have to clear this up. I have to, stop repeating this pattern of just being in this place where I put a halt on things and then I let my dreams go, or I let, the energy disappear because of the fact that I'm, not being proactive within something. All right, and moving it forward on my own. So we have clarification. Yeah, see, look at the Eight of Swords, right? The Eight of Swords is all about the illusion of entrapment. And this is exactly it. This is exactly what's happening. It's that illusion of entrapment. You're not really trapped. It is an illusion. And we start to get, again, in our mind or in our emotions or, whatever it is. And we feel like, okay, we're trapped. We can't move forward. Or we're letting somebody else's actions, put a halt on things. And I feel like this is what Spirit is asking you to do, is to really take a look at yourself over the next week and really ask yourself, what is it that I can let go of? What is it that I don't need, within my life, right? Why am I hanging on to this energy? Because I have the ability to move forward. I have the ability to go that distance, to receive that life that I'm seeking, to receive, whatever it is that I'm desiring. So let's clarify that. We have the Hermit. So I do feel, again, what I just said, go into yourself, right? Time spent in peaceful meditation and meaningful solitude, right? Shine your light as an example to others. Seek out or become a spiritual mentor. Self-discovery. So I do feel that this is the week to really look into yourself and ask yourself, okay, what is it? What is it that I can move past? What is it that I can release? What is it that, is it a person, place, thing, old memories, right? Some sort of fear. What am I scared of? Okay, because I feel like I feel like this is a repeated pattern. Right? You may have this desire to, go towards a job or to go towards a career, or go towards, a hobby or craft or person, whatever it is. But you know, it's like I reach this wall, or I reach this roadblock, and instead of pushing through the roadblock, I turn around and just, okay, you know what? I'm just not going to. But then it brings about an element of despair. It brings about an element of self-defeat, right? Nine of Wands coming through. Protect what you have created. Be prepared. Again, never give up. Ask your angels for help. So I do feel that there is help for you, whether this is spiritual help, maybe perhaps, you know, for some of you, there might, you know, be the need for a counselor, or maybe, you know, just a good talk with a good, you know, a friend, somebody to help you through this, you know, even relying upon your faith, whatever it is. But it's time to actually take those steps that are necessary in order to create what it is that you've been wanting or desiring. And I do feel that for some of you, you know what that path is. You already know what it is that you want to head towards, right? But you have to take the action towards it. We also have here that Five of Pentacles. So it's interesting because, yeah, negative thoughts, right? Manifesting into real challenges. Fears surrounding money, reach out to others for assistance. I actually just spoke about that. So when we have that Five of Pentacles coming through, this is kind of like feeling left out in the cold. All right. Maybe you're seeing other people advance and you're wondering, okay, how come I can't advance? Or why aren't those opportunities coming for me? Or why am I struggling? And again, I feel like there is a test to some degree coming through here from Spirit saying, push forward, push past the blocks and the obstacles or whatever it is that you feel is holding you back. And if it does have to do with people, these might be people that you have to, release yourself from in some way. Okay, because I do feel like this, this is a time to be, again, stand up for yourself and your beliefs, have confidence, challenge those in power, but also choose your battles wisely. And I feel like what Spirit is, I feel like Spirit is trying to make you stronger in some form or in some sense. Spirit is trying to, and this may not involve all of the areas of your life, right? This may have to do with one particular area within your life currently that has always been a struggle or has always been a challenge. So how do we move past that? Well, we ask for that help. Again, whether it's spiritual or whether it's through, physical help like counseling or something like that, or get friends, family. But it feels like, but also going into yourself, because we do have to do the work ourselves. We can't rely upon others, to do the work for us. They can give us guidance, but we still have to do the work. And I do feel like what Spirit is saying to you is it's time to do the work. It's time to go that distance. All right. Stop holding yourself back because of some sort of fears or some sort of challenges or blocks or barriers that are appearing. So let's take a look at relationships and see what's coming through. So relationships for our Virgos. Shuffles. More. First card coming in, we have marriage. You are attracting emotional fulfillment and unconditional love. Beautiful energy. So, this could have to do with marriage. It could have to do with relationships. I do feel like for some of you, there may be somebody around you that is seeking marriage or wanting marriage, or maybe perhaps this is what you're seeking within yourself, right? You do want that relationship. It also talks about the Fool. Have the courage to embrace change, take risks, be adventurous. I feel like for some of you, there's this energy here that you may be seeking a relationship that leads to a marriage. All right. And what Spirit is saying to you is, again, don't allow the roadblocks to stop you. Just because you may have had, bad past relationships shouldn't prevent you from moving forward. There are good people. Have the courage to embrace the change, take risks. And again, I'm really getting this energy of that never ending story. Okay. There may be, patterns within your own behavior that, or patterns of the people that you attract or that you're bringing forward. Maybe it's time to really sit down and go into that energy of figuring out what kind of partner you truly are wanting, or what kind of partner you're truly seeking or desiring. We also have the key, new beginnings, directions, and adventures. a wait for those ready to let go of the past. And we had just talked about that. So again, I feel like, it's time to approach things in a new way, in a new beginning, especially if this has to do with like past behaviors or past relationships in some way, because I do feel that, you are maybe perhaps seeking that marriage, or, seeking that higher emotional fulfillment. All right. Maybe you're seeking that unconditional love from somebody, but how are you going about it? And that might be something that you need to ask yourself, right? Have I been too giving when somebody hasn't been giving back? Have I been too open, or have I been too closed off? Right? And it's not saying that everything that you're doing within your behavior is wrong or bad or anything else. It is saying, though, to sit down and take a look at how maybe we've possibly approached things in the past. All right. And take a new direction. Or maybe we've allowed those roadblocks, to stop us in the past. Maybe somebody's done something wrong. And here's the thing. I mean, let's be honest, right? Virgos have a very high moral compass. All right. Very high moral compass, especially when it comes to others. And they they look at things as how they would want something done. But we have to also make sure that we're doing those ourselves, right? We have to be in that place that we're giving as much as we're expecting to be, receiving. And that, might be something to take a look at. And that's just being honest, right? Like, that's not meant to, stomp on somebody or to be discouraging in any way. It's just really the truth, right? We have to sometimes take a look at our own behavior. We have to take a look at maybe perhaps what it is that we're attracting. All right. Are we going for a certain particular type of person? Maybe we need to change that, because I do feel that what Spirit has been saying all along here is that there is a new path opening up to you. There is a new direction. That serendipity that you've been seeking is on, the precipice of fulfilling, of coming true. But there needs to be some sort of working through, those blocks and barriers that have held us back in the past. So we also have high honor. Yeah. And this is exactly what I was talking about with Virgos. I mean, they have a very, high standards, right? There is a very high standard within Virgos, and that's a beautiful thing. But we have to remember that we also have to participate as much as we expect. Okay? We have imprisonment. Okay, we already had that eight of swords coming through, so it does feel holding. I'm kind of getting the energy here too, is that you kind of want people to prove things to you before you really prove them yourself, if that makes any sense. And so this might be something to really take a look at, right? Showing people like, that you have that same honor within you that you're expecting of them, right? And it doesn't mean that you're not there. It just means that you might be, not willing to be vulnerable in some ways. And I feel like there's a sense of vulnerability that needs to come through here. We also have the Coffin. So it's like, again, ending old patterns. Something needs to end. And I feel like, for some of you, this has to do with, again, ending a behavior, ending a pattern, maybe ending who it is that we seek, or the people that we desire, or the people that we go after, right? Or the people that we are desiring to have in our life. There might needs to be a change, because especially with that marriage coming through, it feels like Spirit is trying to bring something through. It's trying to bring that element of happiness towards you, the happiness that you are seeking. And whether this is a current relationship, or maybe perhaps somebody within your life, or maybe perhaps you're just seeking that, relationship that there's nobody in particular, that you have your eye on, or somebody in mind. But I feel like actually what I'm getting here is it kind of feels like Spirit is giving you the key to a whole new life. Like Spirit is giving you that guidance towards what it is that you're seeking and desiring. So let's get some clarification and see what's coming through. Clarification for our Virgos. Yeah, the Chariot, right? Rewards that come after hard work. So yeah, I do. Remember, like I said, you can't rely on everybody else to do it for you, right? You can go see a counselor, but you still have to do the work. You can ask your friends and family for help, but you still are going to have to do the work. It's getting past those barriers and those blocks that may have been holding you back before, and that's what I keep getting. We also have the Judgment, or the Release card. Endings that lead to new beginnings, the need to release situations or people that hold you back. This is exactly what we said before, right? It, it's time to release these. It's time to let go. This is like the Death card. We already had the coffin here, okay? And things need to stop, all right? If somebody isn't giving you the attention or the if somebody isn't presenting to you what it is that you're desiring, it's time to release them. It's time to let them go. Okay? You're not going to change them. But what it is doing is holding you back, right? It is putting blocks and barriers up, maybe perhaps towards somebody else, because you might be so focused in on somebody, especially if they aren't participating within this relationship the way that you would like, or the way that you're seeking. It's time to let go. It's time, there is a new beginning that needs to happen here, right? And we already had that key. All right, new beginnings, directions, and adventures await. And it's time to let go. It's time to let go of the past. It's time to let go of energies that aren't serving you anymore. This is what I keep getting. We also have the Emperor. It's time to take charge of yourself. And it talks about logic and organization will increase your success. Take charge of the situation. All right? It's like taking that leadership role for yourself. And even though you have high standards and you have, make sure that the people that you're, drawing into your life actually are withholding those high standards, right? If they're not, then it's time to release them. If they're not participating, or if they're not showing that affection, or if they're not in that place of, creating a long term, or whatever it is that you're desiring, because I do feel that many of you are seeking that long term, it's time to just let them go. Move on, have a new beginning instead of repeating a past. Okay. Instead of going into that never ending story that we had, right? That never ending story. We don't want to keep repeating this. It's time to go the distance and really go for what it is that you're seeking and what it is that you want, especially when it comes to a relationship. And look at this, the Queen of Cups, all right? Beautiful. It talks about, caring for others, but forgetting to take care of yourself. And that might have something to do with it as well, right? Just take again as it resonates. But it's also about following your intuition, all right? Trusting your intuition. Sometimes that Queen of Cups talks about that mutual love between two people. And I do feel this energy. This energy is going to be there for you, Virgo. But again, you do have to release some old patterns or some old habits, or again, work through the barriers that may be presenting themselves or coming forward in some way. And especially if it's a repeated pattern in some form. So let's get a message from Spirit, and let's see what Spirit has to say. I feel like this is a really beautiful reading for you, because it's almost like giving you a guide, okay? This is what you want. Here's the key to that new beginning that you're seeking. Go for it. It's time to go that distance. This is what I keep getting. All right. Card coming through is we have Pandora's gift. Again, it does feel like there's a gift coming in. Are you willing to open up the box? All right. And it doesn't need to be, negative things. This is a beautiful, vibrant energy. All right. But you have to be willing to accept it. And we also have release the dark wound and let love live. Okay. Release those dark wounds that have been holding you back, or release the dark wounds that are infecting your life at this, particular moment or at this particular time. It's time to, move forward. Okay. Release those blocks. And then the last card we actually have is shock of the new. So it almost feels like for some of you, you might have been repeating a pattern for so long that you're so used to the pattern. And sometimes we go into a little bit of, shock. It's kind of like, they'll say sometimes we, sabotage new beginnings because we don't know what those new beginnings are going to look like. We get into this place of fear. We get into this place of, overthinking in some way. But I feel that, once you release and you move forward and go into that place of, self-discovery, you're really going to see these new things that are going to be developing within your life. Right? Especially when it comes to relationships or abundance in some force. Don't allow yourself to repeat and, that have that never ending story. It's time to move forward. I love this energy. So thank you so much for watching, Virgo. Again, if this reading has resonated with you, please click subscribe. Please click like. Please comment below if you did find this reading resonated with you. And if you would like a personal reading, contact me at oracleintuitions.com. Have an amazing week and many blessings.